Beatles Cirque du Soleil show, fantastic fucking show. And so I was talking to my wife and I live in Atlanta and Hollywood, and we were out in California. And I said, I'm leaving today at 3:30 to go to Las Vegas, and I have an airplane that you guys bought me. I like it a lot. Half the Fortune 500 companies in America have let go of their private jets. Not Ron White. I'm flying that son of a bitch straight into bankruptcy. I guarantee you one day I'll be living in a double-wide trailer with shag carpet, and I'll have a jet with weeds growing through it. I'll be in the front seat going, push me around some. And I don't come from money. I come from the opposite of money. I come from no money. 10 years ago, I lived in a camper in my friend's backyard. He didn't even know I was there. It wasn't even a nice camper. It was like a homemade pop-up camper. It was like somebody had duct taped a tent to a golf cart. I had a 20-inch Coleman television. Had to pump it up during commercials. You couldn't watch porn on it because nobody's that coordinated. I was broke. I owe the IRS a bunch of money because I don't understand how that works. It's confusing. When I started doing stand-up, they said that made me an independent contractor, and they said I needed to start filing my taxes quarterly, which I thought meant every 25 years. My brain won't wrap itself around shit that complicated, man. My brain does this. That's it. That's all it does. I have attention deficit disorder. I have learning disabilities. I don't have a high school diploma. I'm smart, but you can't prove it on paper. I do have a GED, and if you don't know what GED stands for, you probably got one too. Anyway, I told my wife, I said, I'm leaving today at 3:30 to go to Vegas. My wife's singer-songwriter, composer, Margot Ray is her name, and a brilliantly talented woman. And she says, well, I'm working with a guitar player in the studio till 5 o'clock. You can't wait till 5:30 so I can fly with you. And I said, can you be there at 5:30? And she said, yes, which I knew was a lie, because she's the biggest liar in my life. When it comes to how long it's going to take her to get somewhere, I hear her on the phone all the time just lying through her teeth. We're 2 exits away. Traffic's really heavy. We should be there in 15 minutes. I'm like, you're in the fucking bathtub. We wouldn't be there in 15 minutes if we were where you said we were. But I told her, I said, you get there at 5:30, you can fly with me. But let me tell you something, sugar tits. At 5:31, I am wheels up and I am fucking gone. I said that. Not very loud. But I said it. 5:31 gets there. Is she there? No. Do I leave? No. 6:01 gets there. Is she there? No. Do I leave? No. Why? Because this dick won't suck itself. That's why. It won't. I've asked it to many, many times. In fact, the other day, I sat my dick down, I looked him straight in the eye, and I said, listen, I know I've drug you into some pretty muddy shit in the last 35 years. I need you to get past that, learn how to suck yourself so I can grow a spine and get on my goddamn life. It went in one ear and out the other. My dick has ears. It has an eye, and it has 2 ears, and a double chin. Mr. Potato Dick. The cutest thing you ever saw. I got little outfits I put on them. One of them's a raincoat. Not a condom, a raincoat. A little yellow slicker with that hat. Looks like that fish and chips dude. It's the exact same size as the one on the box. That's just an interesting fact. What is it, Ron? An interesting fact. Anyway, so we go see Love and Beatles Cirque du Soleil show. I'm a huge fan of the Beatles, and I just love their music, always have. And Cirque's always fun, and our shows are at the same time, so I'd never been able to see it. And I got 8 people from my camp. My wife's sitting next to me. We have great seats because I work for the Mirage, and everything's perfect, except right behind me, these 2 chicks are just jabbering. Not about the show, just jabbering. Just jabber, jabber, can't shut up. Jabber, jabber, won't shut up. Jabber, fucking jabber, jabber. The kind of chicks that can talk around a blowjob. You know what well, I told him all day, if you don't fix that goddamn screen door, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna hurt some fucking people. If I come on one more time, that baby got a shitty diaper wrapped around his ass, I'm gonna goddamn, I'm gonna go to the swap meet and get a dress to wear at Arby's on Sunday with And I turned around and looked, I noticed her husband worked with them. I figured they're at a gun show trying to find a way out of this fucking thing. Well, that's way better. I hear the guy sitting next to him go, hey, could you hold it down? My family's trying to watch the show. And she goes, fuck you, we paid our money. We'll do what the hell we want. And I'm just steaming fucking pissed. They're ruining my goddamn night. I can't hear anything but that. I've been waiting for a year to fucking see this show. And I turned around and very politely, don't start with me. Very politely, I said, lady, talking during live theater as far as social skills goes is like shitting in the street. You better mind your own business. I said, you better quit shitting in the street. He goes, I'll have you thrown out of here. I said, if you don't quit flapping your fucking cock holster. Everybody heard that. Before, it was a little disturbance right behind me. Very few people privy to that one. Then 1,700 people hear me go, if you don't quit flapping your fucking cock all time. This is all at a show called Love, by the way. I had her murdered and buried in the desert. Vegas, baby. Careful who you fuck with. And legend has it, if you go out into the desert and the moon is full and the wind dies down, you can still hear her jabbering. I'm a street cheater. I'm cheating in the street. Did you? What the fuck was that? That's that chick Ron killed. They call this Jabber Gulch. My favorite thing about playing Vegas is I get to play this golf course called Shadow Creek, which is one of the most exclusive golf courses in the world. I worked for them 3 years, didn't even know it existed, because they knew if I found out it existed that I'd pester the fuck out of them until they put it in my contract, which is exactly what happened. It's amazing. This golf course is just fucking so tricked out. The first time I walked through the gates, I was like, nobody's stopping me. It's where all the pros play when they're in Vegas. And I was out there this summer, and Tiger Woods was out there just dicking around. I may sign my golf glove. I got to meet the most famous person I've ever met, and I know a lot of famous people, but nobody as famous as Tiger fucking Woods. I love Tiger, man. I defended Tiger when all that stuff first came out. When I heard those initial rumors, I felt sick to my goddamn stomach for the guy, because I've never been accused of doing anything I didn't do. Not one goddamn time. I did it every single time. Not once could I go, no, that was Glenn Campbell. Hey, a lot of things smell like strippers. And I defended him to my wife. I said, you don't know what this guy's been through. He hit his first famous golf shot on television when he was 2 years old. You don't know what his home life's like. You can't judge a guy because he made one mistake. Then he gets caught with number 13, 14, 15, 16. I started going, God damn, Tiger, come on, buddy. And it got to the point where every time he got caught with another woman, my wife would go like this. What? I don't even know the fucking guy. You act like I was holding his dick the whole time. We watched him make that long apology on television, and afterwards my wife goes, well, do you think a guy like Tiger could quit cheating on his wife? And I said, you bet. Which you know is bullshit, because you know as well as I do, if a guy like Strange, getting him to quit wanting Strange is like getting a dog that likes to kill chickens to quit killing chickens. They don't even know what you're talking about. You gotta quit killing chickens. All right, let me see if I got this straight. I can still kill chickens. No, you can't kill chickens anymore. All right? Let's say I'm in a hotel room with the chicken. Let's say the chicken just wants to touch me.
The question I've been asked over and over during the past year is now that President Bush has left office, what now that George Bush has left the office of the presidency, Lewis, what are you going to do? And I've said every time, I guess I just won't be funny anymore. I certainly miss him. He did make my life easy. Basically, I would just come out in any city, read what he said that day, and go on my merry way. It's amazing. What kind of a fucking stupid question is that? Like somehow, because George Bush left office, stupidity fled the country. When it comes to idiots, our country's like whack-a-mole. You get rid of one and three more will pop up. They're asking me this question, and meanwhile, the new president picked a Secretary of the Treasury who didn't do his taxes. What am I going to do? I do think there are two important lessons that can be learned from his presidency. First, if you find yourself in a voting booth and you're looking at two names and you're thinking to yourself, gee, I'd really like to hang out with this guy. Boy, would he be fun to drink with. You vote for the other person. And if you're gonna vote for someone because you think they're gonna be fun to drink with, you be fucking sure they're still drinking. Now, secondly, I believe, and I know this is simplistic, that the reason, one of the main reasons that George Bush became the president is because President Clinton got a blowjob. And this upset a lot of people who didn't get one. And so, the Christian right was motivated to find a candidate who they felt was religious and spiritual and had a great faith in God. If you're gonna vote for somebody because you think they have a great faith in God, you be really sure that God has faith in them. It's a two-way street. No one, not one leader talked about it. Not one leader discussed where we were headed. Not a one. They all said it was going to be okay. All I heard for the course of the campaign was that everything was going to be all right because capitalism is the most wonderful economic system ever developed because it was developed by God himself for us. There's nothing more splendid than capitalism. It is a beautiful garden, a garden that irrigates itself and fertilizes itself. And it needs no sunlight because it basks in the glory of its own reflection. There's nothing more wondrous than the garden that is capitalism. And if it is left entirely unregulated, that garden will grow and grow and grow until all of us share in its beautiful fruit. And so I went to bed every night dreaming about my beautiful fruit. And then I woke up one morning, and there was the Secretary of the Treasury standing behind the White House at the back door, as if he was trying to get away. Holy fuck! We're fucked, he said. We're completely fucked, son of a bitch. I don't know what happened to the garden, but it's a piece of shit now. What's that hand coming up your ass? It's looking for quarters. Put straws in your nose. The river of shit is rising. Start pulling out your gold fillings and put them on eBay. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Then he ran around the White House 3 times with his hair on fire. And all I wondered was, what happened that night? I guess he was sitting in front of his computer, finishing his last online math course from Phoenix University. When he reached that eureka moment. Son of a bitch, he cried, 60 isn't 40. The question I've been asked over and over during the past year is now that President Bush has left office, what now that George Bush has left the office of the presidency, Lewis, what are you going to do? And I've said every time, I guess I just won't be funny anymore. I certainly miss him. He did make my life easy. Basically, I would just come out in any city, read what he said that day, and go on my merry way. It's amazing. What kind of a fucking stupid question is that? Like somehow, because George Bush left office, stupidity fled the country. When it comes to idiots, our country's like whack-a-mole. You get rid of one and 3 more will pop up. They're asking me this question, and meanwhile, the new president picked a Secretary of the Treasury who didn't do his taxes. What am I going to do? I do think there are 2 important lessons that can be learned from his presidency. First, if you find yourself in a voting booth and you're looking at 2 names and you're thinking to yourself, gee, I'd really like to hang out with this guy. Boy, would he be fun to drink with. You vote for the other person. And if you're going to vote for someone because you think they're going to be fun to drink with, you be fucking sure they're still drinking. Now, secondly, I believe, and I know this is simplistic, that the reason, one of the main reasons that George Bush became the president is because President Clinton got a blowjob. And this upset a lot of people who didn't get one. And so, the Christian right was motivated to find a candidate who they felt was religious and spiritual and had a great faith in God. If you're going to vote for somebody because you think they have a great faith in God, you be really sure that God has faith in them. It's a two-way street.
Full disclosure, everybody. I got a reversible belt. It's supposed to be a secret. I got one belt. My coworkers thought I had two. If you don't know what a reversible belt is, it's one belt, but it's black on one side, it's brown on the other side, has a buckle that swivels. So you can wear your choice of your brown dress shoes or your black dress shoes. Adjust the buckle accordingly, you match, people notice, and that's how you get ahead in life. The reversible belt's for a very specific period in your life when you're fancy enough to own two pairs of dress shoes, but you're not quite ready for two belts. It's a transitional period. You're gonna get there one day. One day you're gonna make that two-belt money. But for now, you're gonna swivel. I'm a godfather. My friend made me the godfather of her daughters, made my girlfriend the godmother, and now we gotta stay together for the kids. When your friends start having children, folks, when your friends start having kids, you better be ready. You better be ready to read out loud again. Do not assume that you can just do it. I'm sure you could read. That's not the issue. The issue is, can you act? Can you improvise voices for different characters? Can you sing? Can you dance? Can you maintain confidence in yourself as you put on a whole production for an audience that gives you no feedback? I went to my friend's house. I thought we were just gonna have dinner. At one point, they put the baby down. They said, hey, you wanna read to the baby? I said, are y'all gonna be listening too? Who is this exercise for? They gave me a book called Diminy Duck. I've never read this book. I jumped in confidently. I was like, Diminy Duck. Diminy Duck waddles. She toddles and she sings. Wiggle waggle goes her tail, and whoosh goes her wings. And the whole time I'm reading this book, I'm trying so hard to not sound like E40. But I really wanted to. Because I was like, these rhymes are fire. I want to honor the lyrics. She toddles and she sings. Wiggle waggle goes her tail, and whoosh goes her wings. Ooh. I think it's very precious, you know, the time you get to spend with these kids is very precious because they will reveal to you truths about yourself that nobody in your life dare tell you. One day, my goddaughter said to me, she said, Uncle Shane, your teeth are yellow and your elbows are gray. I was like, good morning. I was like, I think we learned enough colors this month. I think you're good. You're good on colors. I think it's time for us to move on to how to deliver news with sensitivity. One time my nephew said to me, Uncle Shane, your breath smells like birds. That's locked into my brain. It will not leave. The kid can vote now. It's been 15 years. It hurt more that it made no sense. It's poetically abstract. I felt like my breath was so bad, I pushed this child to discover metaphors. It's hard, man. It's hard when kids are mean. It's very hard to accept. You know, because they're so young. They're so innocent. They're not indoctrinated by religion, racism, or politics. Like, it's a very pure hate. It's clean. You deserve it because it came from God to you. One time I was at a wedding party, having a good time. My friend introduced me to her niece, this little girl, an aspiring comedian. They said, hey, can you perform for her? I said, no, man. We at a wedding party. This is not the appropriate context or audience. I'm not gonna do it. This little girl said, you're not funny and you a fraud. It got to me. It cut deep. It affected my night. I could not shake it. Have you ever had a kid be so mean to you? You start to go crazy. You start to think of ways to legally retaliate. I was thinking long game. I was like, girl, I'm gonna get you eventually. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna stop recycling. Yeah, Maybe I'm gonna lean into climate change. I hope you like it hot. I'm not good with negative energy. That's not where I want to be, man. The last time I lost my temper, the last time I really, really lost it, in a fit of rage, I threw some earplugs across a hotel room. If you know anything about anger or physics, you know there's no satisfaction in throwing foam. You release no tension. You just confirm that you are angry and you are so stupid right now. It was a family vacation. I was sharing a hotel room with my dad. I knew he snored. I brought my earplugs. I was prepared. But one night I woke up. One earplug was missing. I looked all around. I couldn't find it. I was like, one alone is useless. And out of frustration, I chucked it into the darkness. I crawled back into bed. I found the other earplug in the sheets. I was like, that's not helpful now. I threw that somewhere. I lay down. I did not sleep. And after a long, long while, finally, I woke up my dad. And in that moment, it's a very challenging situation because you have to explain to somebody who is just completely unconscious that actually they've been an asshole for 3 hours. They don't get it. They think they are innocent. They believe with their whole heart that they are innocent. In fact, they try to gaslight you. They look at you like you're the monster. My dad was like, what's your problem? I was like, it's weird that you don't know. But it's okay, because I recorded you. I got a 3-hour mini docu-series of you dying out loud. And in the very last second, you choose life again. You came back to us. You did that over and over. You choke yourself, then you saved yourself again and again. It's pure terror. I'm an innocent bystander. The first hour, I'm scared, I'm concerned. Every now and then the snoring stops. There's relief. And then there's also, but is he dead though? The second hour, I'm like, life or death, please pick one, let us move forward. The third hour, I spend researching. Deviated septums, CPAP machines. And I just contemplated, I just thought about it, you know?